Captain by a hook with a red beard. Captain by a hook with a red beard.
Man, wish I could just dance for you for 40 minutes. It's Captain by a hook with the red beard, Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dives, going live. Yes, sir. Talking all things sports and sports gambling. Since March is on the horizon, if you've been paying attention, we're breaking down the madness every Tuesday, Thursday. This will be the second edition of the breakdown for madness. I think 2 weeks ago I gave you my tiers, ceilings, teams. I think ceilings are Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four, so on and so on. Tuesday, I did the first 4 teams in the breakdowns, individual teams. I feel like I shouldn't have to explain it anymore, but I would do it uno más, my amigo. One more time, my friend. I will. Pretty much every stat that you can find on the internet between 3 or 4 different websites. Took them, write them down. This is today. That's last week. We going bananas. By the time the bracket comes out officially, I will be prepared, and anyone who watches these breakdowns will be prepared also. Yes, a lot can change over the next 4 to 5 weeks. None of this is set in stone. However, teams' tendencies tend to be teams' tendencies. Say that 5 times fast. Just try it. I don't know. Teams' tendencies tend to be teams' tendencies. Got a little lisp going on with that thing. It's Captain by a hook with the red beard. I already told you that. I also have, on top of the 5 teams I will break down today, Tuesday I did the West Coast Conference and the American Conference. Today I will do a Mount West Conference and the good old Ivy League boys. They always have one team that does, I don't want to say damage, but they do that first round scare. And they usually cover that first game. It'll be like +6, +9. They'll lose by 4, you know? Good old Princeton will be the team I break down today out of the Ivy League. They seem to be the team set to come out of the Ivy League into the tournament. Who knows? Maybe Yale wins the Ivy League tournament, and we got to talk about them at the last minute. That's things that happen with the madness, man. The madness. There really is no predicting or controlling this wave of madness about to hit called college basketball in February and March. On top of this, I have the 3 teams right now that are in the tournament. San Diego State, from the Mountain West that is. San Diego State, New Mexico, and Boise State. All 3 teams could be dangerous. Who's the most dangerous? Also, I got a little something on Utah State. Right now, they're in the next 4 out, kind of out of the tourney, but I think they're a team that could go on a run and get hot or win 8 out of the 9 last games and have a great Mountain West tournament run. The only thing is, when you have small conferences like this with a lot of strong teams, they end up beating each other out. So, like, not all 4 of these teams will make it, but 3 will, if that makes any sense. It's just kind of the draw of the tournament. They're talking about making a 94 or 92 team tournament in the next coming years, which ain't gonna lie to you, I'm not a big fan of it. I think they're perfect with the 68 team bracket, and they even expanded it to the 4 more games. That's 8 more teams. They expanded it to the, what's it, 64? I don't even know no more. It's like 72 teams that make the dang tournament. How many do you need? I mean, if you do 90 something, you might as well just do the top 100 teams, get them together, and let them play some pickup ball. I don't know. It's just feels like too much, honestly. You got to add a whole nother weekend to the tournament now instead of a 3 week tournament that really goes 3.5 weeks or 4 weeks if you count Selection Sunday. Now you got 5 weeks of just I just don't like it. The thought of it anyway, as a fan, as a player, as anything. I mean, why? Why? So teams that nobody's ever heard of, like Seattle, can make it every year. Like, I hope they don't do that. They probably will. They also talk about doing a 24-second shot clock in college hoops coming in the future. Not a fan of that either. Stick to the professional leagues. Keep ruining those. Stay away from college hoops, man. We good where we at. 30 seconds is perfect. We good. We good where we at down here in college ball. Let the NBA be the trash league that it is. I was trying to think of a nice way to say it. Boring. NBA basketball is, I don't know, man. Why are you trying to change college? There's no reason to. I'm getting off subject here, people, and I have a lot to talk about. So let's dive in it. After I go through this March Madness breakdown of the Mount West teams and the Ivy League Princeton, I do have on the voucher for today 5 bets that I placed. Franklin Earl has one also. He's 1-1 on the week. I am horrible. I was 2-4. 1-2. What's that? 3-6. First losing week the whole season. Started Saturday pretty much. Had a horrible Saturday. Horrible Sunday. It trickled into the week. It's cool though. It's gambling. You can't go 2.5 months, 3 months, literally, November 7th through January 25th, winning weeks back to back to back. Some weeks up 12 units, some weeks 18-6, some weeks 10-4. Like, you can't just have win. I'm finally hitting that loss cycle of the circle. Hopefully my shit does that. You know what I'm saying? Just a quick little losing stretch. Thursday looked to bounce back. Like I said, 5 bets for you tonight. Also, another 5 games I want to talk about. The Pac-12 is becoming the most interesting conference in college hoops down the stretch. I will touch on that a little bit later. But for now, let's dive into these bracket breakdowns. Team's resume, basically. I really don't know what to call it. This is just what I do every year, man. And this year, I started a show, so I'm going to share my information and my due diligence, my hours and hours and hours of research, so you don't have to. While I'm in here at 4 in the morning punching away at numbers, you could be sleeping. And when it's 11 o'clock at night and I'm punching some more numbers, you could be sipping a pina colada, getting ready for bed. It's a sacrifice I'm willing to make for the betterment of the people. You are listening to Captain by Hook with the red beard, Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dives, about to jiggity jump right into it. San Diego State. They are considered the best team in this conference. However, there's 2 teams I will touch on after them I like a little better. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'd be surprised if San Diego State got out of the second round. I think they'll lose in the first or second round. Right now, they are projected to be a 6th seed. They have a 17-5 record. Quad 1 record is 2-5. Quad 2, 4-0. Quad 3, 9-0. And Quad 4, 1-0. The Quad 1, I don't really believe in this quad stuff, but I mean, if they're gonna do it, you're 2-5 against some of the best teams in the country. The top 75 teams in the country, I believe. Not a good look. I think this team is going to drop the last couple weeks of the season. They have an 8-2 conference record. I think they lose a few, and I think they. I don't know. We'll see what happens in the Mount West Conference tournament. But I think this team's going to end up being a 9 to 11 seed instead of a 6 seed that they are. They have an assist to turnover ratio that is it's not good. I don't want to say a bad word. It's 11.9, pretty much 12 turnovers a game to 13.7 assists a game. So 12 turnovers to 14 assists per game. This team shoots 45% from the field, 36% from three, and 73% from free throw line. I guess you could round that up to 74% from the free throw line. They get about 38 rebounds a game. This is where they do have an advantage over a lot of teams. They average almost 8 steals a game and 3 blocks a game. They are a very slow-paced team. Slow-paced team. They play in the range of St. Mary's in Houston as far as pace goes. They're ranked 314th in pace. There's one more school on this list I would talk about that's even slower than them, which is kind of funny. 75 points per game still, only giving up 66, 9-point differential on the season so far. Pretty good, man. You win your games on average by 9 points. Definitely not a chump of a team. Deserve to be in the tournament for sure. Offensive efficiency. They are top 100 in both of these. 72nd in offensive efficiency and 88th in defensive efficiency. Not bad at all. Top 90, I should say, instead of top 100. They protect the ball, man. They force turnovers and they protect the ball. It's hard to turn this team over. San Diego State, it's hard to turn them over, and they will turn you over. And off of steals, they will run. Believe it or not. They have athletic wingmen. They have athletic bigs. It's an athletic team. Old school post-up team. Get the ball down there in the post. They play like 80s Lakers style basketball, I want to say. They run when they get a chance, but they'll walk it up, post you up. They press a lot on makes, which that's how they get a lot of turnovers. They pressure the teams. They wear them down, get them mentally worn out by the second half. They press a lot on makes, not every time, but a lot. They force turnovers. They also force bad shots, and they rebound the ball well on defense. They are a high rate defensive rebounding team. Again, old school post up team, athletic guys attacking the rim. And on top of all that, once they get you clogged up in the paint, they got 2, maybe 3. I know 2 for sure. Lefty shooters that got I don't know. I'm a right-handed shooter. I don't even know how to. But them left-hand jump shots, one of the most beautiful things God's ever created was a left-hand jump shot. Ever since I was a kid, I've been enamored with lefties that can stroke it from deep. And that's what this team has. Like I said, they have 2 or 3 guys that can just shoot it, flat out shoot it. They don't settle for it, though. They are a smart team to get good shots. Like I said, they're athletic. They attack the rim, and they post up a lot. They like to post up, get things off of the post up. If you single them, it's probably going to be a long day. If you double them, it's probably going to be an even longer day. Like I said, smart basketball players. They know what they're doing. I just don't know if they have the... Of course, March Madness always comes down to matchups. You know? I could tell you, I don't think this team will win the first game or for a second game. I don't think they're going to make it out of the first or second round. However, who knows? It's all about matchups. And that's why I'm trying to give you this kind of information now. What they like to do, how you can attack this team. I mean, if you can not turn the ball over and you don't really have to run it on them, but if you could push the pace a little bit, get them out of their element, I wouldn't want to just run and shoot with them because, like I said, they rebound well and then they'll walk it up, give it to the post. Next thing you know, you're in the hole. But you can definitely attack them. off of defensive rebounds, pushing the pace right there. Because, like I said, they'll press you off makes. But once you break the press, if you're aggressive towards the rim, you can get some guys in foul trouble. You can get some things happening. You just got to kind of push it. I don't want to say just flat out run full speed with these guys. Just push it a little bit when you get a chance. Also, if they play a team with a dominant big man on defense, I think all that post up games, if you force this team to shoot a lot of threes, I don't think they're successful. Again, their turnover to assist ratio is not one that suggests that they're great at, I don't want to say bad at passing, but I mean, they post up, go 1-on-1, and most of their assists come out of the kick out to the three. Moving on to, I'm just going to go top to bottom, New Mexico. One of the most intriguing teams, I would say. Right now, they are projected to be a 10 seed. I think they fall a little bit. I think they end up around 11 to 14. This team is like, I don't know. They're not the most impressive, but they've beat some of the most impressive already this season. I don't know, man. Let's just break them down real quick. I think they can make it to the Sweet 16, honestly. And it's all going to be draw matchups, but I think this is going to be one of those surprise teams that come from the 11th or 12th seed, making it to the Sweet 16. They are 19-4 on the season, 6-4 in the conference play. Weird, right? Such a great team, 6-4 conference play. I went back and forth on this team. I spent the most time this morning on this team because I just can't figure them out. I'm going to have to watch a lot, and I mean a lot, more film on this team. The little hour-and-a-half film session I did last night ain't going to cut it. They shoot 49% from the field. Wow. Anytime you're shooting close to 50 or above 50, you are a monster. 35% from three. That doesn't sound great, however. I will get to that in a second. 73% from the free throw line. They average 43 boards a game, 7 steals, 4 blocks. Pretty good defensive team. They score 82 points per game and only give up 71 and a half. 11 point, 10.5 point differential. Winning the games by double digits, man. That's impressive. Always impressive. Offensive efficiency. They are 36th in the nation. Top 40 in offensive efficiency. They fast-paced run and gun team. They are 45th in tempo, pace, whatever you want to call it. I knew I skipped a line. 45th, and that's up there with Gonzaga 6th. They're right around Memphis, man, pace-wise. They like to run it. They definitely like to run it. On the defensive side, they're top 196th in defensive efficiency, top 50 in defensive rebounds, and 2-point percentage on defense, giving up, allowing. Let me say that again a little better. They are top 50 in guarding the 2-point shot. So, I don't know. I feel like I'm not making sense, but I know what I'm saying. Teams against them. Anyway, top 50 in defensive rebounds and 2-point field goal percentage against them. Top 30 in guarding the 3. So I was about to say you got to settle for jumpers against the team, but they're top 30 guarding beyond the arc. That's what makes me think they're going to be a Sweet 16 team. They do not shoot threes a lot. They attack the rim. But top 30 in guarding the 3 and top 50 in guarding the 2. They are a defensive team that will run you to death. I don't know, man. Let me look at something real quick. All right. I didn't want to say anything I have for another team, for this team. Every other stat, they are a middle of the pack or at the back end. Intriguing. Top 50, top 30. Everything else, 150, 180, 213. It's just crazy to me. crazy to me. They started off the season hotter than anyone in the country. Didn't lose a game until January. That means November and December was a perfect 13-0 for this team. However, they came into January on an 0-2 stretch, but 19-4 in the season still. They beat St. Mary's. They beat San Diego State. And they beat Boise State in overtime. I think that was earlier this week or last week. Boise State in overtime. That's 3 quad one amazing wins. I think this team could play with anybody. But this is the other bad part. They literally are 346th out of 350 teams ranking-wise in three-point attempts. Only 27% of their shots are behind the arc. They will pound the paint. They have a couple guards with some nice mid-range game, a little floater, a little pull-up. But they pound the paint, man. They got their big men. They put them to work. They get back on the other end, and they defend at top 50, top 30 in the nation. It's like the perfect mix of a March Madness team. If they can get a 7-point lead and force the other team to start forcing shots, I could see them winning 2 games in this tournament and making the Sweet 16. However, they'll have to play their perfect brand of basketball. Like, they'll have to have the perfect New Mexico brand of basketball. But I do think as a 10, 11, 12, even maybe a 13 seed, they're dangerous. But I would like to see them 10 through 12. I might jump on them. I'm sure there'll be plus money. Again, it's all about matchups, but that's the breakdown on New Mexico. Moving on to Boise State. This team is crazy. I got them going to the second round. I got them winning the first game, losing the second. Right now, they're projected to be a 10th seed. I think they actually make their way up to an 8th, 9th seed. They might fall to like 11, 12. I think it'll be 8, 9, or 10. And you know about the 8-9 matchups. But boy, I ain't even got to tell you. Projected to be a 10th seed. They're 18-5 right now, 8-2 in conference play. 2-2 against quad 1, 5-2 against quad 2, 5-0 against quad 3, 4-1 against quad 4. This is the only downfall for this team. 11 turnovers to 11 assists. They got to get better, man. There's a lot of one-on-one basketball going on. They can get them turnovers down to under 10 and the assists up to over 12. I would appreciate it as a fan. They shoot 46% from the field, 37% from the three. Incredible shooting team. 73%, however, from the free throw line. I don't know what's up with these college kids. I cannot wait to find me a team that shoots over 80% from the free throw line. They average about 39 rebounds a game. That pin's gone. 5 steals and 3 blocks. Not the most impressive defensive stats. However, slowest paced of the 8 teams I've talked about thus far. Slowest pace. 331 out of 350 teams pace-wise. They are slower than St. Mary's, slower than Houston. They average still 72 points a game and only give up 61. So, still winning games by double digits. This is the weird part. Offensive efficiency, 104th in the nation. But the defensive efficiency, 8th. 8th in defensive efficiency, 6th in the nation in defensive rebounding, and 5th in the nation in guarding the 3 ball. I mean, you heard everything I just said. Now let me ask you this. You know I can't do a show without fidgeting with the pin. I'm a millennial. ADHD is in my blood. Ding! That's a joke that I don't have time to explain. Every kid born in the 90s has something. Like, past that. It gets worse in the 2000s. But anyway, it's just humorous to me. It's man-made, made up. BS. Boise State. If I just read you all of those numbers, 6th in the nation rebounding on defense, 5th in the nation guarding the 3, defensive efficiency of 8th, 11-point differential, 37% 3-point shooting, 46% from the field. If I just read you all of these stats and you just looked at these numbers without a team name, you might say this is one of the best 10 teams in the nation. How can you not? The top 10 in a gang of statistics. This team does scare me. I can see this team in the Sweet 16 too, but I think it's all about seeding. They get the 8-9 matchup. Anything can happen. That's why I like a New Mexico's chances more if they can get an 11 or 12 or even a 10 seed to be that kind of underdog that, 8-9, they get the worst match because, boom, they're 8 seed, 9 seed, win the first game. Tough matchup. Not who they got to face. Number 1 seed in the goddamn tournament. Just a tough draw for them. I do think they get to that second round, though, against the 1 seed. Where we at? Suffocating defense. Great passers. Free offense. What I mean by a free offense, it's like if you took 5 guys at LA Fitness that didn't know each other, didn't have any sets, but all 5 of these guards were high guys. All 5 of these guys were high IQ basketball players. That's what this team looks like. They don't really run sets, but they space the floor well. They pass well. They're unselfish. They make the right basketball move. One thing I can tell their coach does work on them with is cross-court passing. Forget that around the horn stuff. We going from point A to point B, making it extremely tough on defenses to rotate against them. Chemistry off the charts. Next thing you know, you're going back and forth with this team. They just suffocate you on defense, move the ball, get great shots. Next thing you know, you're down 15. I definitely think that's going to happen in the first round of the tournament. I think they're going to surprise the heck out of whoever they play and then run into a monster of a number 1 seed and fall off of the bracket. However, in love with this Boise State team. Also love their uniforms. Remind me of my Knicks. Yeah, I think I broke down everything for Boise State, New Mexico, and San Diego State. You're listening to Captain by a Hook with the red beard, Rowan Donaghy, a.k.a. Rowan Dives. Real quick, Utah State. They're not in the tournament right now, but I think they'll make it. I'll break them down more in depth. They rebound, defend, and shoot at an above average level. Offensive efficiency, 11th in the nation. Defensive efficiency, however, this is where they're losing games. Defense wins games, kids. Defensive efficiency, 213th. So offensive efficiency, 11th. Defensive efficiency, 213th. 18-5, 7-3 in conference. I feel like this is a tournament team. Quad 1, however, they're 1-3. Quad 2 and 3, they're combined 13-0. And then Quad 4, for some reason, they're 3-2, which shows me that they play to the level of their opponents if they're losing a bunch of Quad 4 games like that. Utah State, I can see them in the tournament. I'll save this for later. If I have to add to it and update you guys on it, I will. I will keep top-notch track of as much as possible. I can't reach that one this time. They got me this time. Let me touch on this Ivy League team, the single Ivy League team right now in the bracket. Princeton, 14th seed projected. I think they're going to either be a 14th or a 15th, if they even make it, honestly. I think they lose the first game. I think they might cover. I don't know. I have to see the matchup and the number. But I usually like taking Ivy League teams to cover, even though they lose. 14-6, 5-2 in conference. This is the weird part. 0-0 in Quad 1. Not any chance this season to play against a top 75 team. They might just get blown out if they get into this tournament. Quad 2, they're 1-2. Not good at all. Quad 3, 4-3. Quad 4, 6-1. Just horrible. Turnover to assist ratio, 13 turnovers to 13 assists. However, they shoot 47% from the field, 35% from 3, and an abysmal 69% from the free throw line. These kids are studying too much up there at Princeton to work on free throws. 42 rebounds a game, 5 steals a game, 3 blocks. Nothing standing out there. They gotta go with the flow pace. However, the other team wants to play, that's how they'll play. They don't have their own pace or style of play. If y'all want to run it, they'll run it. If they want to walk it, they'll walk it. Their pace is right in the middle, 135th in the nation. However, they all top 100 in both offense and defensive efficiency. Offensive efficiency, they're 93rd in the country. Defense, they are 81st. Respectable, I say. Respectable. Point differential of 8. They average 75, and teams only average 67 against them. They are 15th in the nation in 2-point shooting percentage, 4th in defensive rebounding, and they don't foul a lot. So you're going to have to earn buckets against Princeton. They will hold you to one shot by rebounding at a high rate on the defensive side. And they're not going to settle for bad shots, man. 15%. 15th in the nation in 2-point field goal percentage. They're going to get it where they want it, find their spots, be a little patient, and make you pay. I definitely think this team is a good +9 cover team, if that makes any sense. Next Tuesday on the March Madness breakdown, I just dropped my pen. Can't check these off. I will check them off, however. Next Tuesday, we have the Pac-12, which I might push. I ain't gonna lie, I might push that to the back. Because who knows with this Pac-12? I mean, it's like I said, it's the most intriguing. I'll get to it a little more in a second. It's the most intriguing conference race at the moment. 3, 4 teams, possibly 5, could win this conference down the stretch of the last 8 or 9 games. I think including tonight, there's 9 games left for most of these teams. So, yeah, I'm going to wait, man, on this. I don't know. I'll see what happens this weekend. Because right now I got Arizona, UCLA, USC, Utah, Oregon, and ASU, which ASU is not even in the tournament anymore after losing 4 straight. Gotcha. In conference play, Utah and Oregon, kind of just expecting them to be in it. Utah maybe not, but Oregon, definitely a second half team historically under this coach. So I don't know. We'll figure out next Tuesday when next Tuesday comes, I guess. But it's supposed to be Pac-12 and Big South. So we'll see what happens over the weekend if I feel like I can give you accurate information or if I should just wait, because I'm not going to talk about 6 teams and only 2 teams make it, or vice versa. I talk about 4 teams and a whole another 4 make it. I want to give you the best information possible. You're listening to Captain by a Hook with the red beard. It's Rowan Donaghy, a.k.a. Rowan Dives. Let's step away from March and step into February 2nd, jumping into tonight's bets. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I already made up my mind. I'm taking tomorrow off. Going stupid Saturday and Sunday. If this week of luck doesn't turn around, I'm coming in Monday. You got to be a Seinfeld fan to understand this, and I'm not going to explain it. I'm Bizarro betting all week, baby. Doing the complete opposite. Anyway, tonight, 5 games that I like. 2 of them are kind of reaches. Two of them are kind of reaches. 3 of them I love. I'll just say that. But first, I want to talk about these other 5 games. I don't have anything on action-wise. However, they intrigue me as far as Road to March Madness goes. You have USC and Washington State. USC is becoming one of the hottest teams in the Pac-12. They are taking on Washington State, laying 6.5 tonight. It's hard for me not to say hammer, and I hate to say hammer, but USC minus 6.5 looks delicious, honestly. Kind of staying away from anything Pac-12 for the rest of this week. I want to see what happens with that conference. That's why Oregon +9, however, against Arizona. Again, I'm staying away from all Pac-12 action, but absolutely love Oregon +9 tonight against Arizona. Don't have any real reason why. I just think Arizona is I don't want to say reached their peak. They're not plateauing, but we know who they are. Oregon, on the other hand, I think they're a lot better than we think they are. I think this +9 is a little bit of a reach. I think it should be +6, maybe even +5. I love the +9 on Oregon. Like I said, I'm staying away from all Pac-12 games until further notice. Arizona State -11.5 against Oregon State, I think is an absolute joke of a number. You have two abysmal teams. Arizona State the last 2 weeks is 0-4 in conference play and just looking horrendous. Oregon State, however, I think they're 9-13 or something like that, or 13 and I don't know. I think they're 3-8 in conference play, so it's not like I feel confident in taking them plus the 11.5. But for Arizona State to be laying 11.5, I don't know. Call me crazy, but I think that line is insane. Tonight you have St. Mary's and Gonzaga, both in action. They will play each other Saturday night, however. It's the game I'm looking forward to the most. I want to see those Gales completely take over that conference this season and beat Gonzaga. Both of these teams are laying 13.5. St. Mary's versus San Francisco. The Dons. Zaga is taking on Santa Clara. Again, it's weird to see both of these teams at -13.5. Usually it's St. Mary's -4 and Zaga -28. So they're like powers combined this season for some weird way, if you can picture what I'm picturing. Those are the 5 games I will keep an eye on tonight. However, my 5 bets come from a completely different place. I'm going to give you the small schools first, the schools you don't want to bet on, the schools I don't want to bet on, but the schools that need to be bet on. Give me Charleston, laying 7.5, coming off of their second loss of this season. They're 20-2. Give me Charleston laying 7.5 versus Drexel. I think they bounce back in a major way, winning this game by 20 or more. The other team nobody wants to bet, give me Florida Atlantic, the money line, taking on UAB. I think I got this at -104 or something like that. It's pretty even money. They're +1 on the spread. Give me Florida Atlantic. It might be +104. Give me Florida Atlantic on the money line, taking on UAB. Now, to the schools you've heard of, give me Wisconsin. I love this bet. This is almost my best bet of the day. Give me Wisconsin +8 on the road, taking on Ohio State. Ohio State's not a horrible team. However, their offense, yikes. Their offense is horrible, man. Horrendous. Straight drought worthy on offense. I mean, I heard the basketball misses the net sometimes. Like, misses it. They ain't touched the net in so long. This is an old joke. Nobody laughs at. Wisconsin +8 taking on Ohio State. And then on the totals, which have been my best friend this week, give me Michigan and Northwestern. Give me the over 138. I think it gets to the 140s easily. Give me the over 138 on Michigan Northwestern. Just to recap those 4 bets, Charleston -7.5 taking on Drexel. Florida Atlantic money line taking on UAB. Wisconsin +8 taking on Ohio State. Michigan Northwestern over 138. Now I need somebody, anybody, to hit me with the horns. First time I did a show with nothing to drink. Feel like a dang fool. Franklin. That was a little early. Hold on. It's Franklin Earl. Here we go, right here. Beard. Winter time. Franklin Earl Beard Winnington with the best bet of the day. My man Rowan Dives in a little bit of a slump. Franklin Earl here to pull him on out. I just threw the rope down the volcano hole. Hopefully he can find it, crawl back to safety. Crawl back to I couldn't think of the other word. Safety is a good one though. Crawl back to safety. Franklin Earl Beard Winnington, best bet of the day. Give me Houston laying 12.5 taking on Wichita. State. Give me Houston to win this game by 20 or more. I'm thinking like 25, 26. Give me Houston minus 12 and a half, taking on Wichita State. The only reason Wisconsin plus 8 wasn't the best bet of the day is because anytime I can get Houston under 15, I'm taking it. And I'm confident in it. Give me Houston minus 12 and a half. What else do you need? I'm giving you great college basketball content, people. I'm giving you Seinfeld references. And after all that, my job here is done. I'm about to give me a cup of coffee. I had some tea this morning. 7:43 Central Time, Thursday, February 2nd. You're listening, you watched, you listened, you whatever you did. Please like and subscribe. It's Captain by a Hook with the red beard, Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dives.